All right, let's dive right into this. Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're looking at a piece of absolute everyday magic that you probably have plugged into your wall right this second. Yep, the mobile phone charger. We literally trust these tiny little plastic blocks with our incredibly expensive smartphones every single day. But what is actually going on inside that little shell? Well, today we're going to uncover exactly how it takes this raw, aggressive wall electricity and tames it down into perfectly safe power for your phone.
To demystify that little black box, we're going to fly through 5 main areas today. We'll look at the high voltage problem, take a peek inside the charger itself, trace the 6-step journey of a spark, talk about heat and fast charging, and then wrap up with some essential safety rules. Let's go.
Starting us off with part 1, the high voltage problem, or basically a huge clash of electricity.
Now, if you just bypassed a charger entirely and plugged your delicate little phone directly into a wall socket, well, there's no way around it. The results would be absolutely catastrophic. Instant destruction. And why? Well, think about the number 230. In places like Sri Lanka, for instance, you've got 230 volts of alternating current, or AC, just surging out of those sockets. That is a massive, aggressive amount of electrical force just sitting there behind the plastic cover in your living room.
And here's where we hit our core problem. On one side of the ring, you've got this aggressive wall power pumping out 230 volts of AC. On the exact opposite side, you've got your phone battery. And your battery? It just wants a tiny, gentle sip of about 5 volts of direct current, or DC. Talk about an extreme contrast, right? These two are fundamentally entirely incompatible on their own.
So, this is exactly where your charger swoops in as the absolute hero of the story. It essentially bridges this massive gap. It steps up to do 2 critical things. First, it heavily reduces that towering 230 voltage down to a totally safe level. And second, it fundamentally changes that wild alternating current into a steady, direct current, so your battery can actually store it and use it.
All right, moving on to part 2. Let's look inside the charger and meet the team.
To really get how this heavy lifting happens, try to imagine the inside of that charger not just as, a static block of plastic, but as a highly coordinated, high-speed team of specialists working together in literally fractions of a second. Here's the starting lineup. You've got the protection circuit acting as the bodyguard, defending against sudden power spikes. Then, the rectifier steps up to handle the messy job of converting AC to DC. Right after that, the capacitor jumps in to smooth out that newly converted voltage so it isn't all bumpy and erratic. Next, the switching circuit takes over, managing the power flow at insanely high speeds. It passes it off to the small transformer, that's our specialist for safely dropping the voltage down, and finally the output circuit catches it, handing off that finished, safe DC voltage straight to your USB cable.
Which brings us to part 3, the 6-step journey. Let's track the spark.
Okay, so we've met the team, now let's actually watch them play. Let's track the chronological journey of a single electrical charge from the wall to your phone. Step 1, 230 volts of AC comes rushing in. Step 2, it immediately slams into the rectifier, forcing that alternating current into direct current. Step 3, because that power is still kind of wild, the capacitor steps in to smooth it out. Step 4, the switching circuit takes control, pulsing the power at high speed. Step 5, it hits the tiny transformer to safely shrink that massive voltage way down. And Step 6, the output circuit catches that perfectly tamed, low-voltage DC and feeds it straight to your phone. Honestly, it's just a beautifully systematic process happening every single time you plug in.
Next up, part 4, heat and fast charging. Let's look at why it gets warm and how it actually speeds up.
Think about your own charger for a second. Ever unplugged it and noticed it feels kind of warm?
Well, given that intense 6-step gauntlet we just walked through, it completely makes sense. Some electrical energy naturally gets lost as heat during all that high-speed transforming and smoothing. So, a little heat, totally normal. It's literally just physics. But, and this is an absolutely crucial takeaway, if that little block ever gets very hot, or starts smelling like burning plastic, or if you hear weird hissing or buzzing noises, you need to stop. No joke, unplug it immediately. That means the internal components are failing and it's officially a serious hazard.
Now, what about when you want to speed things up? A standard charger normally pushes out 5 volts at 1 or 2 amps, but a fast charger pushes the envelope. It sends much higher power, like 9 volts or even 12 volts, pumping energy into the battery way faster. But here's the catch. For this to actually work safely, both your specific phone model and the physical cable itself absolutely have to be designed to support that heavier flow of power.
All right, wrapping up with part 5, essential safety rules, how to protect yourself and your tech.
Because you basically have a miniature power plant plugged into your wall right now, we've got to hit some actionable takeaways for daily safety. Think of these as your non-negotiables. Number 1, no damaged chargers. If the casing has a crack, just throw it out. Number 2, absolutely avoid fake knockoff chargers. They almost always skip out on that heroic internal protection circuit we talked about, leaving your phone totally exposed to power spikes. Number 3, never touch a plugged-in charger with wet hands, obviously. Number 4, do not try to pry it open while it's connected to electricity. And finally, just unplug the thing when you're not using it. Keep it simple.
So if there's one core point to walk away with today, it's this. The ultimate job of a mobile phone charger is taking high-voltage AC and transforming it into safe, low-voltage DC. The entire shebang, every tiny circuit, the rectifier, the transformer, it all exists for that one singular purpose. It is the ultimate shield between your incredibly sophisticated smartphone and the raw, aggressive power of the electrical grid.
It's so easy to take this stuff for granted until you actually look under the hood and see how perfectly engineered it all is. So, I'll leave you with this. If a tiny piece of plastic is doing all this complex, high-speed work just to charge your phone,